Hello and welcome to Health Matters. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Now, life is a cycle consisting of several phases, each with its peculiar characteristics. We have heard of the terrible twos, and many parents anticipate the troubling teens as their children grow. These stages are given names to help us understand the nature of the changes that occur at these stages. Today we'll be looking at the menopause, which some call the silent passage. Silent because people don't usually talk about it. What happens in that space of time when adults are transiting into becoming older adults? On the show to discuss this with me is Dr. Faye Iketubosin. He's a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, and also the medical director of St. George's Memorial Medical Center. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Okay, let's just start by asking, what is this menopause?
Well, menopause by definition means the end of periods. Meno is monthly and pause periods. And by definition, a woman is in the menopause when she hasn't had periods for the period of 12 months. That's natural periods. This doesn't apply to women who have had their ovaries removed surgically.
Okay, so why do you have to wait for 12 months before you give the verdict?
Well, that's the definition, because before, in the later years, before the periods actually stop, they become irregular.
Okay.
So you do get periods of, you may have start skipping months. And this may be 1 or 2 months and then 3 months and so on. So you need to wait for a year to be sure that the woman has made that transition. And she has actually stopped. Yes.
So pause doesn't mean hang on for a while, like in English. It's not coming back.
No, it's not
Never.
coming back.
Now, what are some of the symptoms of menopause? What does a woman look forward to seeing or feeling, when that time comes?
I don't know about looking forward.
Okay, so it's not good.
But the most alarming symptoms are the hot flushes and the sweats. These are called vasomotor symptoms. These are acute, and they're the ones that really disturb the woman. For example, a woman is sitting in a nice air-conditioned room, and out of the blue, she has a flush and her blouse is soaked, and I mean really soaked. So those are the most acute and alarming features.
Isn't that embarrassing? In a cool room, suddenly.
Oh yes, it can be quite, and this is what makes women go to the doctor, if they so desire. They tend to seek other remedies before going to see a doctor, generally. But if the severity is such that they're not sleeping at night, which is possible because of the sweats, having to wake up several times at night to change your nightie, then it's after some time you just need to go and see somebody.
Okay, so apart from the hot flushes and the night sweats, are there any other symptoms?
Yes, those are there are long-term effects of menopause. The cause of the menopause is the fact that the estrogen, which is the hormone that makes women feminine, the levels of estrogen in the body are significantly reduced. And estrogen is an organ that actually affects every organ of the body from head to toe. So when the levels fall to that sort of level, you can get symptoms relating to everywhere. For example, you can have memory loss because of the effect of estrogen on the brain. You can have skin changes. You can also have heart disease, because estrogen as a hormone.
Hang on, heart disease as a result of menopause?
Well, not directly. Women have a higher incidence of exposure to heart disease. When women are premenopausal, the estrogen protects them from heart disease, coronary heart disease.
Okay.
But once they go through the menopause, that protection is lost. And therefore, the incidence of heart disease equates to that of men.
Okay. So, are there any physical changes? So far, you've spoken about things that probably maybe only the woman would notice. But could you see a woman and say, oh, she's going through that time? Any real physical changes you can see?
I don't think so. Women are very clever. They are experts at disguising.
Yes, so nobody should blame us our false eyelashes, our false nails, and or whatnot. But apart from all that, would it have been visible to people that, you know, a woman is going through this time, this stage?
Well, in the long term. For example, if you recall, when women get very old, they tend to bend over.
Okay.
And they no longer can stand upright, and this is because of changes in the bone, what you call osteoporosis. So the bone gets thin, and the vertebra, which is the spine, begins to collapse. So you get that bending forward. Then you have things like the other physical features which you may come wrinkling.
Okay.
The skin begins to lose its integrity. So they have all women will, or all human beings generally will have tend to wrinkle more
with age.
Yes, with age, and that's why you have the plastic surgeons going to town in such areas. So those are the sort of physical features that you may notice. But then
I've had people, you know, tell me that a woman starts to look like a man. She starts to grow hair and her voice gets hoarse. Is that true?
Not really. I would say that is qualified, because men and women produce a hormone called testosterone, and you know that even in young women, you find that there are some women that have a beard,
yes,
and
true,
have hair on their chest, and this is because they have higher levels of testosterone. Now, when you go through menopause, all the estrogens are significantly reduced, but you still have some circulating androgens. So it is possible that you become hair growth
because of the relative difference in levels.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Now, apart from those changes that we've mentioned, does she go through any mental changes?
Well, mental changes are, should I say, psychological symptoms. The fact that a woman is transiting does throw up some psychological issues. For example, if a woman has no children and she starts going through these the phases of the symptoms of the menopause, it suddenly dawns on her that this is the beginning of the end, and that can be a cause of depression. Now, and because of the other effects of estrogen deprivation on the brain, you do get women going through depression for other reasons. You often have relationship difficulties at this time.
Okay.
Because perhaps the husband is not understanding of the symptoms that she's going through, and so on and so forth. There also may be changes in her career. She may not be able to cope as well with work.
Yes, that's that. Does it significantly affect, could it affect her effectiveness at work?
Yes, because when she's having these symptoms, acute symptoms particularly, she doesn't sleep well, all right?
Okay.
So there's a tendency for, if you don't sleep well on a long-term basis, then you don't get to work feeling refreshed. Your productivity at work is compromised. Now, for you who is a high achiever and a performer at work, that begins to worry you, because you find that it's something that you cannot control. You can't, you wish you could sleep better and so on, but it's just not happening. So that can also lead to depression and psychological problems.
Okay, now that it looks as if estrogen is the culprit in all of this, is there any way that this phase can be